In this video, I'm going to be going over the best cards to be buying right now in NBA 2K25 My Team after the market has crashed quite a bit due to the new Prime packs and including also the new Hall of Fame boxes that did get refreshed this past Friday that caused the market to go down a ton. And there was some good cards in here as well, like Invincible Giannis being the first Invincible in packs definitely has a huge reason and factor of why the market's been dropping. Also, these Hall of Fame boxes, have so many dark matters and have a 50-50% chance, or 50-50 odds, 50% chance to pull a 100 overall card. So that has caused the 100 overall card market to go down. It's caused the dark matter market to go down as well. And then it's just it's like a trickle effect. It goes down. Galaxy Opals are going to be lower. Pink Diamonds are going to be lower. Diamond cards are going to be even lower than they already were cheap. So I want to talk about what are all of the best cards in this game to be picking up and adding to your guys' squad. I'll try to give you guys a bunch of different price points. Maybe I'll talk about some cheaper cards. I'll talk about some more expensive cards and maybe some cards in that middle price range as well. I'm going to try to give you guys as many options as possible and just go over all of the cards that I do think are worth picking up right now in my team. So starting with the new Prime set, we'll just go set by set just to make it easier in chronological order from the Prime set. Now, obviously, Invincible Giannis is ridiculously not overpriced, well, maybe overpriced, but he's ridiculously expensive, so don't recommend you guys buy him, obviously. And then Jason Tatum and Ant, I think, are probably two of the more overpriced cards in this game. They're just not great at their position for how much they do go for, so definitely stay away from the top tier cards in this Prime set. But I will say with the Dark Matters, definitely look to go ahead and try to get a Michael Beasley. Now, his price has been fluctuating quite a bit. This one has a little bit extra Hall of Fame badges added, and you might be able to pick him up for like 700,000 MT. I've seen some go for even less, like 600 to 650, and I think that's a really good price for the second or third best small forward right now in my team. This Beasley card is insanely good. He's just his pink diamond card with a faster jump shot and way better defense and also slightly better movements and dribble sigs as well. So you get a better ball handling card than his pink diamond, you get better defense, and you also get a faster jump shot with better stats and badges as well across the board. So Michael Beasley is insane. I would say he's probably the card that is the most worth picking up right now in this game. So we're starting off hot with maybe the card that I'd recommend you guys get the most. If you need a small forward specifically and you have a lot of MT to spend, I would definitely recommend going ahead and trying to get this Dark Matter Michael Beasley. The rest of the Dark Matters in this set are honestly a little bit underwhelming. I think Manu Ginobili is good, but I don't know if he's necessarily worth his price. He's going for still over 100,000 MT, and I think for that price you can probably get better point guards, or you can spend a little bit more and get a better card. For example, just about if we're talking about point guards, Dark Matter Stephon Castle is not that much more than Manu Ginobili. He's like 200k, maybe 250 at the most, and I do think he's a lot better than Manu Ginobili. So if you're looking for a point guard around that price tag of like 200k, I would lean a lot more towards Stephon Castle than I would Manu Ginobili. So from the Prime set, I would kind of stay away from all of these Dark Matters. Bargnani is not bad, and I do believe he is a buy now price. At least I think I saw him for a buy now. I've seen people get him for a buy now price. He's not a bad power forward card, but again, 100,000 MT, he's good. I just don't know if he's necessarily worth getting in this type of market when the market is extremely low. So I would really just focus on getting this Dark Matter Michael Beasley from the Dark Matters in the Prime set. Now, the rest of the Prime set is honestly very underwhelming as well. I think this Prime set's probably one of the weaker sets that we've gotten over the past couple weeks and maybe even a month. I will say I am a huge fan of this Galaxy Opal Roy Hibberts, but again, his price is a little bit expensive. He's above 100,000 MT. For that price, is he worth it? I don't really know. He's really good though defensively. He's 7'2" with a 7'7" wingspan, one of the best player models I've seen in game so far, for a Galaxy Opal card. But his jump shot is really baited and is not a great jump shot, but if you're able to green consistently with his release, he is a great center card. But again, is he worth his price tag? I'm not 100% sure. So honestly, guys, from the Prime set, I would say just Dark Matter Michael Beasley and then also Anthony Morrow. I will say Anthony Morrow is a great budget option at the point guard position. Just to give you guys a budget option as well, I'm going to try to include different price points in this video of what cards I think you guys should be buying. And if you need a budget point guard, a card that's going to be under 10,000 MT, has a really good jump shot and is a very good offensive point guard, I think Anthony Morrow is great for that. But now moving on to the Signature Series set, we have a lot more cards that I think are actually worth buying in this set. Now, talking about the 100 overall cards here quickly, we have Yao, we have Shea. I will say, Shea, for being the best point guard in this game, is not incredibly expensive. Now, there is no Shays up on the auction house, but when there is, this card's been going for like 2 to 2.5 mil, maybe even a little bit lower. And yes, that is extremely expensive, but for being the best card in this game at their position, I feel like it's not a horrible price tag. So if you guys are, a whale and you guys spend a lot of money, or if you guys just have a lot of MT and you wanted to pick up the best of the best cards at their position, I think Shay is probably more worth it than a lot of other 100 overall cards, in my personal opinion. So I do think Shay is a good buy if you have tons and tons and tons of MT, but obviously I'm going to include other options as well in this signature series set that I do think are really good pickups. Starting off with AK-47, is he as good as Michael Beasley? No, but is he still a top tier small forward? Is he still probably top 5, top 7? 100% yes. He's a really good defensive card. He has great defensive stats and badges, 98 in every single defensive category. He's a great card on paper. He has a top tier catch and shoot jump shot, 6'9" in small forward, 7-foot wingspan, great small forward card in AK-47. And then, like I was talking about earlier, I think Stephon Castle is a really good pickup at the point guard position. If you're not willing to spend or looking to spend tons and tons and tons of MT at point guard, I think Stephon Castle is a really good buy, a point guard that can compete with the Penny Hardaways of the world, with the Michael Jordans of the world, with the 100 overall Shays of the world. Like, he's able to compete with these cards at point guard. Is he as good? No, but is he able to compete with the best point guards in this game? 1000%. But I do think for that price, he's 100% going to be worth buying. I think George Gerving is not bad for his price. He is actually now a buy now, one of the first buy now dark matters in this game. And for like 95k, 90,000 MT, actually really good value in dark matter George Gerving. I think he's worth that price if you guys are looking for a top tier shooting guard that isn't ridiculously expensive. Zach LaVine, I mean, he's fun to use and he is good offensively, but I just don't think he's worth his price tag. I believe he's still going for above 100,000 MT, so I personally wouldn't go after this card. I just think Stephon Castle is a lot better at the point guard position. Talking about the rest of this signature series set, I think Hassan Whiteside is another similar card to Roy Hibbert, but a lot cheaper. I think it's a card that if you're good with his jump shot, he can be very effective because of his defense and his rebounding. He's 7 foot with a 7'7" wingspan, has really good stats and badges across the board, but not the best of jump shots in this world. So again, you kind of have to decide, can you green his jump shot? If you can, then I think this card could be a really good center or power forward option. That is pretty much it when we're talking about the cards that I think are worth buying from that signature series set that are more on the expensive side that have dropped in the market. I will probably be making a separate video going over all of the best budget cards to be buying right now in this game, but in this video I wanted to talk more so about the more expensive cards in this game that have been dropping over the past couple of days or so. Going over to the fan favorite set, we got Penny Hardaway, we got Tracy McGrady. Neither of these cards in my opinion are worth buying. I think Stephon Castle for his price is very similar to Penny Hardaway and is not a better card, but I think is a much better value point guard compared to Penny Hardaway. And then, I mean, Tracy McGrady, he's just like 4 million MT, so we're not gonna recommend that card for you guys to pick up. But there are some dark matters that I would recommend. Again, Tim Thomas, very similar to AK, very similar to Michael Beasley, sort of around the same price point. I think between those three options, you can't go wrong. AK-47, Tim Thomas, and Michael Beasley. I think Beasley's the best out of those three, then probably AK, then probably Tim Thomas, but it really does depend what you need at the small forward position. But I think all three of those cards are really, really good pickups, and whatever one you want to go for, whatever one's more in your price point, whatever one's more in your price range, your budget that you want to spend at the small forward position, I think are all really, really good pickups. I think Terry Dischinger for a cheaper price can also be a good buy. I mean, a base Terry Dischinger goes for like no more than 100,000 MT, and I think for that price is a really, really good small forward. Yes, he's a bit undersized at the small forward position, only being 6'7", but he has a really good jump shot. He has amazing dribble sigs, and I think Terry Dischinger is a great buy at the small forward position. Dino Raja, if you guys are looking for a power forward for maybe 45, 50k, I mean, he is extremely good defensively. I like his jump shot. He is another great buy right now from the fan favorite set. I think that's about it. Again, I'm going to make a separate video talking about the budget cards, but cards like Rocco, cards like Eddie Curry are really good pickups if we're talking about the budget cards, but they haven't really moved in price over the past couple days. But cards like Dino have been going down in price. Cards like Tim Thomas have been going down. Cards like Terry Dischinger have been going down, quite a bit in price over the past couple days. Now going back into season 5, we'll start with the Torpedo set. Devin Booker, don't think he's worth it if I'm being completely honest. I think Stephon Castle is a better point guard, and he is also a million MT cheaper. Now Josh Smith, I would say, is potentially on the level of the Tim Thomases, the AKs, and the Beasleys of the world, but I do think he's potentially like a step down compared to those cards, but he's also going to be cheaper. He's a really good defensive card. He is basically Dark Matter LeBron with a way better jump shot and also way better dribble sigs and movement as well. So if you guys like using LeBron cards in my team, Josh Smith is a great pickup. He's a card that plays very similar to LeBron with his defense and his slashing, but like I mentioned, he's got a much better jump shot in my personal opinion. So I do think Josh Smith is a great buy at small forward. Kawhi could be good if you guys need a great defensive shooting guard. Now, he is a little bit pricey, but he is worth that price because Kawhi is one of the best shooting guards in this game. He's a guy that can guard the Kevin Durant's, can guard the Tracy McGrady's, the Carmelo Anthony's of the world when we're talking about the best offensive shooting guards in this game. But I do like that defensive ability from Kawhi Leonard, and I think he is worth his price if you guys need a top shooting guard. Let's talk about some Galaxy Opals like Jonathan Isaac. He's been going down in price. He's like 70k. I think he's good at the small forward position. Doesn't have the best of jump shots in this world, but I do think his defense does make up for it. Now to talk about Pink Diamond Dyson Daniels, he hasn't really gone down much in price. He's like 30 to 35k, but he is still a really good point guard, 6'7", plays elite level defense. I mean, one of the best defensive point guards in this game, has a 99 steal, 97 perimeter, 92 block, and a 90 interior defense as well. So I think he's a great pickup at the point guard position. Going over to the bracket buster set, Chris Webber, I just don't think is worth it. I personally think getting AK, getting Tim Thomas, getting Beasley, or getting Josh Smith is a lot more worth their price and a lot more worth your MT than going up and getting, or going, up in price to get a 100 overall Chris Webber. Yes, he might be better than those cards I named, even though I think Beasley's a better price and is also a cheaper card. So I just don't think Chris Webber is really worth buying in my personal opinion. Lonzo is good, but I would just get Stephon Castle if I'm being completely honest. I will say D-Rob, I do think is a really good buy for his price. He has been going down quite a bit in price, and I think he's a great pickup at the power forward position. I'm not a huge fan of this Adam Morrison card, but I know a lot of people are. So if you want another small forward again, you could go for Adam Morrison. But also, like I've been mentioning, I would just target an AK-47, a Josh Smith, a Tim Thomas, or a Beasley over Adam Morrison. And then I do really like Carlos Boozer, and I do really like Tyler Hansbrough also from this bracket buster set. Really good all around small forwards at the Galaxy Opal tier. Now from the Apex set, just stay away from Luka. Don't think he's worth his price tag, but I will say Kareem has been fluctuating in price quite a bit, but he's come down, I would say, quite a bit in price, and he could be worth it as like a card that's on the same level as D-Rob, maybe potentially better as well. And I think he's another great buy if you're looking for like a top tier center. That is pretty much it from the Apex set. For the expensive cards that have been coming down in price. I will say Ron Artest is really worth his price. Like, this card is no more than 200,000 MT. Like, I've seen this card end for like 150 to 175, and I mean, for that price, that's a really good price for Dark Matter Ron Artest. He plays amazing defense. He's basically a slightly worse version of Kawhi Leonard, and I mean, Kawhi's like what, 500k plus, and Ron Artest is like 200k. A 300,000 difference. I don't know if Kawhi is that much better than Dark Matter Ron Artest, but either way, I think he's a great pickup at the shooting guard position. Going over to the inevitable sets, I think the only card from here I'd recommend is Dark Matter Chet. He's an amazing power forward card. He's like no more than 400k. I think he's down to like 300 to 350k. He is such a great defensive power forward card that also does have a great jump shot. And then I would say from the unlimited set, Gary Payton has been coming down in price. He's not a bad pickup at the point guard position, but again, I just think Stephon Castle is a much better buy. But just to give you guys another option, Gary Payton is definitely still a good point guard, and then Joel Embiid is another good option at the power forward position. I prefer D-Rob, Kareem, and Chet over him, but again, just want to give you guys other options at the power forward and a bunch of different positions. But I do think Embiid is another great option. Season 4, I mean, in the All-Star set, I don't know if any of these cards are really worth buying anymore. Galaxy Opal Jaren, if you want like just a really good power forward card that's sort of on the same levels like a Galaxy Opal Dino, you could spend a little bit more, like maybe 55 60k, and go ahead and get yourself Galaxy Opal Triple J, and he is a really good defensive power forward option. Cade's still not that bad. He's okay, but he's a little bit overpriced in my personal opinion. I would just get a Dyson Daniels over him for a lot cheaper. So I don't really think this All-Star set has too many cards in here that I would be looking to pick up. Other than that, I mean, if you want a cheaper Michael Beasley and you don't want to spend the 600, 700k that you obviously have to get the Dark Matter, I mean, you can spend like what, 60k, maybe 70k to get the Pink Diamond card, and he is still going to be very similar to his Dark Matter. I mean, he is still a great card at small forward. Other than that, I mean, there's cards like Dark Matter Hakeem, who are very similar to Dark Matter Embiid. I think they're basically the same card, but he is extremely rare on the auction house, and he does go for quite a bit, compared to how good of a card he is. But I do think it is another, card I want to mention at the power forward position. I would say from season 3, honestly, I don't think there's really any cards I want to talk about in here. I think in season 2, there's just cards like Pink Diamond Wemby that have been coming down in price. I mean, there's one ending here, A little bit extra Hall of Fame badges, but not much, and he's going to end for probably like under 200k, more so like 150. And I think if you guys need a center, 150k for Pink Diamond Wemby is still a really good pickup. And there's cards also like Pink Diamond Dr. J, who I think are a really good buy as well. Like another card that's come down in price. I think he's down to like 35 to, yeah, definitely under 40k. He's more like 30,000 MT right now, and I think that's a great buy at the shooting guard position. But overall, guys, that's going to be all the cards that I think are worth picking up right now after the market crash did happen, with these new prime packs, the Invincible Giannis, and just the Hall of Fame boxes as well being refreshed. But let me know in the comment section down below what cards you guys looking to pick up and add to your guys' team, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.